Afternoon, squad. I am Staff Sergeant Wiltz here, and I am here to brief the rest of Operation Bobcat Lightning, our first squad, 1st Platoon, Charger Company, 1/5 Infantry. Now to begin, 1st Squad, 1st Platoon, Charger Company, 1/5 Infantry will attack to destroy enemy forces in vicinity of Objective Phantom no later than 30/2200, August 24, in order to deny enemy influence on the battalion's decisive operation. I will say again, to begin, 1st Squad, 1st Platoon, Charger Company, 1/5 Infantry will attack to destroy enemy forces in vicinity of Objective Phantom no later than 30/2200, August 24, in order to deny enemy influence on the battalion's decisive operation. The purpose of this operation is to deny enemy influence on the battalion's decisive operation, as I said earlier. We will accomplish this by conducting infiltration. Now, decisive to this operation is undetected occupation of support by fire positions and the initiation of that support by fire. This is decisive because it will enable the surprise and tempo necessary to rapidly overwhelm the forces on Objective Phantom. Now, we assume risk by conducting a raid with too small of a unit size, as doctrinally it's made for the platoon, and additionally, we are using a non-optimal withdrawal route given the unfavorable terrain conditions. We will mitigate this risk by minimizing unit signature with inclement weather, selecting a route with the least potential for enemy exposure, aka Route Freedom before the ORP, and prioritize concealment over speed. Now, for tasking purpose, Alpha Team. Alpha Team is located here and is the main effort, and they will attack to destroy the enemy mortar team on Objective Phantom in order to deny enemy influence on the battalion decisive operation. Bravo Team is the supporting element, and they will interdict the enemy mortar team and any potential enemy reinforcements in vicinity of Objective Phantom in order to prevent enemy influence on the battalion decisive operation. As you can see at this observation post and the security team's placements there. Lastly, Gun Team 1 will support by fire friendly forces, aka here, on Objective Phantom in order to enable enemy friendly freedom maneuver on Objective Phantom and in the AO. Now, the end state for this is to avoid primary main supply routes in the Ronin, minimize civilian casualty and collateral damage to infrastructure in order to disrupt enemy forces without giving them accurate knowledge of our friendly disposition and composition. Now, unless directed otherwise, all alternate elements will reconsolidate at the patrol base to follow on offensive operations. Now, this operation will be conducted in 5 phases. Phase 1, planning. This begins with the receipt of the mission at the start point. Receipt of the mission ends at the start point for the patrol base. Critical tasks include PCCs, PCIs, upward brief, rehearsals, and adjacent unit coordination. Phase 2 is infiltration, which will begin at the start point for the patrol base and end at the rally point at the ORP. Critical tasks will be undetected movement from the patrol base to the ORP, deliberate LDA crossings, and maintaining comms with higher throughout this entire process. This will be done either using the primary route, Route Freedom, or using the alternate route, Route Danger. Now, Phase 3 is recon isolation, which will begin at the rally point at the ORP and end with the initiation of support by fire on Objective Phantom. Critical task includes leaders recon and placing security teams and occupation of both the support by fire and assault positions. Elements. Phase 4, actions on, will begin with the initiation on Objective Phantom and end with the squad reconsolidated back at the ORP. Critical tasks include confirmation of security team placements and assault positions, surprise achieved, Objective Phantom destroyed, and successful withdrawal. Lastly, Phase 5, exfiltration, will begin with the squad reconsolidated at the ORP and end back at the rally point at the patrol base. Critical tasks include rapid exfil and disruption fires via IDF. Alright, moving on to the terrain model. Let us fixate on the legend. First we have a road which is indicated by tape. We have the route which is indicated by the nylon cord, the grid line which is the guts, phase line is the yellow cord, trees are going to be this heavy dense vegetation. The scale, every grid line square is 100 meters. And then for the terrain model actual itself, let's fixate on, first of all, we have our 321 northing up here, which represents this edge right here. And then the southernmost boundary is going to be the 317 northing down here. And then our westmost easting is going to be the 117 easting, and to the east, our 121 easting. And as you can see here, we have Route Camaro, which bisects our terrain model, and Objective Phantom with our enemy mortar team located approximately at UF 1197-3184. Now moving on to Leaders Recon, Phase 3. Start. After reaching our intended ORP, located here, we will conduct a security halt and establish a hasty ORP, and from there, conduct Leaders Recon. The Leaders Recon team will be composed of the squad leader, the Alpha team leader, the Bravo team automatic rifleman, the assistant gunner, the gunner, an Alpha Team Grenadier, and an Alpha Team Rifleman. This phase will begin by the squad leader giving the remaining units GOT 1, in which the squad leader will say he's going to conduct leader's recon. He's taking the others with him, which I said earlier. The time it takes him is going to be 75 minutes. What if he doesn't return? Attempt to contact via radio, no response, wait 30 minutes, and reconsolidate the patrol team at the ORP. And then if receive action, if the leader's recon element receives action, they'll break contact, reconsolidate back to the ORP, and abort the raid. If the ORP takes contact, they'll fight in place, wait for the leader's recon to come support. And in both cases, coordinate over radio and call potentially for IDF targets to be initiated depending on the circumstance. Now, to maximize time whilst maintaining cover and concealment, following this GOT1, we'll utilize Route A from the ORP, and the squad leader and Bravo team leader, automatic rifle, will go in and place the strong side security element located here, while the Alpha team is going to utilize Route C and come and place a weak side security down here. Now, this strong side is going to have the gunner and AG, so they're going to have an AT4, and I'll explain why that is later. Following this, squad leader and Alpha team will each give the respective security team sectors of fire and direct fire control measures. For the strong side, this would be destroy the greatest threat first, and give the same GOT1 to both security teams, which is that they're going to complete the leader's recon, retrieve the squad from the ORP. They're going to take about 45 minutes, and then if they don't return, attempt to contact via radio, no response, wait 30 minutes, reconsolidate at the ORP. And then if they receive contact, they're going to break contact, reconsolidate the ORP. And then if the ORP receives contact, they're going to fight in place and wait for those security teams to come back. Now, following the emplacement of each of these security teams, squad leader and Alpha team leader will go from these positions, return to the ORP, and the squad leader and gun team 1 will travel here and traveling Overwatch and occupy the support by fire positions, making sure to set down the tripod. While they are moving, Alpha team leader and the rest of the units in traveling Overwatch will occupy this assault position, located at PL Red. Once the squad leader radios to the Alpha team leader that the support by fire is set, Alpha team will occupy their assault line at PL Black and move up here. Lastly, this phase will end with the identification of the enemy high-value targets or key weapon systems and initiation by that support by fire team, support by fire element, with the main cruiser weapon being the 240. Now, there is a possibility that the mortar team could get a resupply or seek reinforcements if the enemy were to discover our position. Thus, the high-value target in this case would be the CSK-141 from the motorized enemy infantry squad, which is on the village not too far west. Now, the contingencies for this would be a hard compromise. If the enemy send their entire squad, obviously the security team is going to break contact, radio the squad leader, and inform of the situation. And most likely, this will result in a board of the raid. Soft compromise is to contact the squad leader decision via radio, and squad leader will determine from there. Now, the engagement criteria for the CSK-141 will be if enemy reinforcements were to come upon initiation, the squad leader will advise to utilize the gunner's AT4 to neutralize that CSK, and then retreat back. Now, for actions on, initiation will begin with weapons control status of weapons free with the support by fire element, engaging the target on objective Phantom with the 240, targeting the enemy's highest casualty producing weapon. Support by fire element will engage between TRPs 1 and 2. Following the massive effects by the support by fire, a weapons tight control status will be announced via whistle, along with a signal to shift fire, which will be done by the squad leader. Once a shift fire has been announced, support by fire will shift fires to engage any enemies between TRPs 1 and 2, and they're going to shift fires this way. And the support by fire will confirm that the shift fire is complete using the pace plan, which is first they'll radio, or if not radio, then they'll whistle back, a confirmation whistle. And the weapons control status will be changed to weapons type. Now, immediately following this, the assault element will conduct an aggressive bounding through the objective and halt at the LOA located here, engaging targets as they appear between 1, 2, 3, and 4. TRPs 1, 2, 3, and 4. This can only happen if there's a ceasefire confirmed, which would occur prior to this. And then after Alpha Team Leader bounced through the objective, Alpha Team Leader will confirm to the over radio to squad leader that they have reached the LOA. Following this, its special teams will be up. TLs will gather lace reports, and this includes the security and support by fire elements. And if needed, an aided litter team will be provided from the support by fire elements. And then there's going to be rolling casualty collection points, so most likely there'll be a casualty collection point up here. And then following this, for EPWs, we're just going to have someone on the assault team, EPW and search using the 5 S's. They'll clear out, search back, and then to facilitate a quick withdrawal, the support by fire will transition the crew serve to a tripod or the cruiser from tripod to a bipod, while the assault team moves back and off the objectives on a direct azimuth to the RP. And following this, the support by flight element will follow the same route that the assault team followed. And then once they're off the X, pending a radio from the squad leader, the security teams will leave their positions and go back to the RP. Now, some expected enemy responses and contingencies include the loss of key support weapon systems on the friendly side, any reinforcements which arrive, which can occur if for some reason the CSK doesn't get knocked out, if there's an enemy is larger than we expected on the objective Phantom, or if there's a failed breach onto the target location. Now, all of these constitute abortive criteria, as we want to ensure that enemy reinforcements remain unaware of our current disposition. In total action, this should take about 15 minutes. Now, lastly is going to be exfil. Following the draw, the squad will utilize route danger, which will be up here, and reduce to save time, reduce predictability. Since it may be impossible for the enemy to contact to occur, the squad will move in a traveling overwatch in a squad column fire team wedge and can deviate from the route as appropriate to avoid discoveries. Radio checks with platoon HQ will also take place every half hour. Key to this phase will also be indirect fires of 2 rounds of 60mm mortars. Squad leader will radio to platoon HQ to request fires using targets AB1010 and AB10115. The triggers will be the successful withdrawal from objective Phantom, and these mortars will shoot high explosive rounds to destroy roads and prevent enemy freedom of maneuver. Now, for coordinated instructions, what we have here is we have our priority intelligence requirements, identification of enemy defensive obstacles in AO Ronin, enemy troop equipment movement in platoon or more size. Also, we have some friendly force information requirements, which is hard compromise, soft compromise, loss of a key weapon system. And then lastly, PCCs and PCI focuses. It's going to be auditory visual signature, night equipment, functions checks. Priority of rehearsals would be night rehearsals prior to the route. And then priorities of work would be security, communication, withdrawal plan, and weapons maintenance.